I land in April 1997, a few weeks before the handover. I don't speak Chinese, I speak neither Cantonese, nor Mandarin, nor Hakka. I have no purpose other than to roam the streets and film the common things as a tourist, but I take that in my stride. As night falls, I decide to focus on the public face of the town and of the specialized food stores. The roasted ducks in the front kitchen fascinate me. Fruit and vegetables are less extraordinary here, but I'm sure there are exceptions. Looking out for the best offers, I feed myself in cheap stalls at prices that speak for themselves. A wonderful smell oozes from a wedding banquet on a steamboat, but is unreachable. Eating in the streets, I never get sick, but there's always acupuncture as a last resort. One evening, I decide to go out for a drink and discover karaoke. The mic is free, but unable to read the lyrics, I let myself be carried by the music. Quickly befriending a few alcoholics, they tell me about the triads, the Chinese mob that runs the place. That night, I lose my way back in the chaos of neon-lit streets and glare of plane headlights. The next morning, with hangover and without passport, I imagine triads everywhere and become paranoid. All guards seem to me henchmen, even mahjong players. I take off on the first bus I see. I decide to focus instead on the girls that walk by. A classic worldwide hobby. but the girls turned their back on me. It's becoming a bit of a catwalk, so I've stopped there and leave it to the boys and girls to meet up with each other and live their romantic lives in cinemascope. Here comes the soppy shots. All take cover.
喂，今晚咁一齊去公園玩啊喂！
邊位？
我架的士喺邊啊？
唔得啊，唔好意思啊。
喂，今晚一齊去公園玩啦！
哦，好啊，超點啊，今晚拜拜。
It starts like a game. They meet. They discuss strategy. They flirt. Eventually form a couple. They marry. Woman falls pregnant. They have a child. And where do their kids go when they get hungry? They stay faithful to their traditions, as we do. Vive la différence! Would I know more about the lives of others by staying at home channel surfing? I have my friend Mike, who stays home and does his research for me. I call him from time to time so he can give me ideas of things to film. He spots on CNN a beautiful shot of the city from the peak and tells me where to go to get this beauty shot. From the peak, the view is dull and foggy. Thankfully, we have color correction. With a digital magic wand, Damien transformed the sad view into a luminous and elegant apocalypse. (1997). Handover in a few weeks and the rules are clear. Out with the English. Without my passport, my right to stay is threatened. I place a call to the British Embassy to get a new passport, but it takes an awful long time. Without an authorization to film, I consider shooting my film on Super 8. After 16mm, it changes the aesthetic, but why not? Every morning, very early, in Hong Kong, there's Tai Chi. But I find it hard to wake up. I'm told of the world's greatest escalator. First thing in the morning, it brings down the young wolves who sleep up in the hills and hunt in the city. I regularly get lost looking for this escalator. At 9 o'clock on the dot, the direction changes. I come across children going to school, lots of stairs and steps without escalators, and always arrive too late there. The escalator not carrying at this hour a pack of wolves, but some wise DIYers. The transport system in Hong Kong is very efficient. There are the British double-deckers and the Star ferries. Small green boats crossing the harbour in all weather. This small fishing port already carried big shipments before the arrival of engine boats. The town has been considerably built up, but the Star ferries are still the same. I handle the Hong Kong dollars. Will these be their last days sporting the British line? Will they soon all be replaced by the Chinese panda? Just like in Wales, the town has bilingual road signs, and cars drive on the left. Short on ideas and witnessing other crews having lots of things to shoot, I call my friend Michael in front of his telly. He advised me to take a boat and to go and visit the dormitory islands. I board a ferry but probably take the wrong one. No blocks, no towers, no ghettos. Just an old man, lots of bikes, and some bickering children on their way back from school. On Lantau Island, I find myself far from the modern world, very isolated. And then, behind a wild and windy hill, I discover the future, in construction. Hong Kong is also the high-tech Mecca. Everything is sold duty-free. We are being reminded of this at every street corner. And what about Hong Kong cinemas? The movie houses show local films and American ones, but I think there's a crisis here. I love Chungking Express and I run to see Wong Kar-wai's new film Happy Together. Let's see what Cahiers du Cinema has to say about it. Maybe not enough blood to their taste. Even the karaoke videos are bloody. I am welcomed in Hong Kong by my cousin and his young wife. They work hard and play hard. On the weekend, I film them. Sophie is pregnant. Antoine is born a few months later. My film takes a little longer to come out. Like in the West, the Visa card is accepted at every street corner.
12, 50, 800, 1081.
The Chinese have a strange way of selling their products, but the idea is the same. Buy. The Hong Kong Shanghai Bank is huge here and will eventually eat up local banks worldwide to become HSBC, your local bank.
The foreigners here are quite friendly. You'll see. When people smile, you smile back.
There are no rickshaws as in days gone by, but there has always been the black market. At the Tiger Balm Temple, I make an appointment with a Guilo, the White Devil, as we're commonly known here. He hands me a fake passport that will permit me to get back home. Making kung fu snuff movies pays for the fake papers. I dream about this idea at least. Waking up, I pour myself a beer. No, waking up, I realize it's time to go. I don't speak the language. I lost myself in the town, and like the tourists, I have filmed the common places. Tourist attractions are limited, but the town invites the people to join in to the general spirit of things. I'm only there for a bit. These images taken in the streets don't really render the noise, the energy of this ever-expanding town. I'm not the only tourist there. Hong Kong belongs to the Chinese now, and I hand you over those images. Goi Li Do. That's a few Cantonese words I learned by heart here, and it means, thank you, my stop is here.